here with some songs.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities.
Hello, welcome to another edition of the Third Person Podcast. I'm Shannon,
I'm Sean.
And I'm Matt.
and we are three people from three generations. Welcome. It is Sunday, August 13th. Lucky number 13. And I think we're good. I think we have all our bugs worked out. I'm sure there'll be more that pop up. Welcome. What's up?
Not much. It's been a long week.
It has been a long week.
It has been.
What have you guys been up to this week?
I have been adjusting to my new role.
That's right. You got a new job.
It's great. I've been spending the last 2 days signing titles.
Nice.
My finger is killing me. I ran at least one pen out of its ink.
Well, that's a good sign.
It's a sign.
It's a sign you have crappy pens. It's a sign of something.
Other than that, it's
Well, that's a good sign.
just been a slow week. It's a sign.
Sign
And
of a crappy pen.
playing Baldur's Gate 3, my friends, just came out
Nice.
recently.
Okay.
It's a game that just came out. Phenomenal reviews.
Give me that.
Easily a contender for Game of the Year, if
Easy.
anyone cares. I
Yeah.
honestly think that it even has a chance to beat out the new Zelda game.
Really?
It's
Now, Zelda, I know.
Yeah.
I don't know the new Zelda.
but you
I
know
guess
Zelda.
Yes.
Funnily, this is I find really
Funnily.
funny. Overwatch 2
Okay.
is it's a competitive shooter game made by Blizzard, which is a not great company. Like, they're bad people.
Okay.
I think they openly admitted to beating their wives and stuff,
Oh, nice.
among other things. One of their games recently got ported to Steam, which is a game platform that many people use,
Right.
and
Steam,
within
I know.
not everyone knows. Within a day, it has 91% negative reviews,
Oh, nice.
making it the single most downvoted game on Steam. And they have a lot of crap games. There are people who are going back and upvoting the previous owner of that title to make sure that Overwatch stays on the bottom.
Nice, nice.
I just find that really funny.
Because it is. It's
How was
very
your
funny.
week?
Yes,
Long.
Sean, how was your week?
Long.
We've established this.
We built a lot of cars this week. A lot of overtime. A whole lot of overtime.
Your week has pretty much been go to work, come home, go to sleep, go to work.
Yes. I know yours has been similar.
Yeah. I know you got to see your aunt and her family Friday night.
That's good.
Yeah, I also had a longer week than Sean. I had to work on Saturday. Yay.
Just keep thinking about the paycheck.
Yes. Yes. Yes, things are work are busy. Other than that, I've had a decent week. Nothing crazy. I was a little sore all week, but I think that's just from being tired. I don't know. No reason for it. Just old age, I guess. Uh, so yeah. Uh, so let's see. Last week episode. I don't know if you guys saw. We did 168 views, 4 listens, which is like iTunes podcasts, Spotify podcasts, that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Are we on Spotify?
Nice.
We are on Spotify.
Love
The
Spotify.
audio version, not the video.
Oh yeah.
You can do video on Spotify.
Why would you?
Really?
Joe Rogan does video.
Huh.
You
I don't-
can't do video while you're You can't watch a video podcast while you're driving. It'll just do the audio
And still, I didn't know.
if it's connected to Apple Google CarPlay, whatever. If you don't connect your phone to your car and you play it, you can still watch the video. So I've heard. Anyway, yeah. So I think that was pretty good for our first full real episode and our second of any episode. So let's see if maybe we can beat that this week.
Maybe.
We had very few live listeners last week, so hopefully if we get like more than like 3, I think we beat last week. All right. Who wants to go first with the stories? Pick a story and or a topic.
Let's see what we got.
What do you got, man?
What is this new COVID?
You COVID. Let's find out.
It's new variant EG5 is on the rise
Yes, I
as
don't-
COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations go up. There's a new coronavirus variant. Nationally, this new EG5 is causing about 17% of new COVID cases in the country. And that's compared with 16% for the next most common lineage of COVID, XBB.1.16. These sound fake. These names sound like robots from Star Wars.
Yes, they do. Where
It's
are
a
we at?
spin-off of XBB, recombinant with the Omicron strain.
Well, let's hold on a second. So there's a chart here.
I don't see a chart.
I
Slow
could.
down.
I might be able to show the chart.
Oh, I see the chart now. Show the chart. Let everyone see the chart.
I'm gonna try. Hey, look at that chart.
Woohoo.
So the chart here shows. So July 29th, there was 9,056 right there. Cases. I
COVID
believe?
patients
COVID
in U.S.
patients
hospitals.
in
This
hospitals.
is new admissions per week.
Okay, new hospital admissions per week. So 9,000 new admissions per week, which I don't know. What's the population of America?
Oh,
More
it's
than that.
a few
More
million.
than that. Thank you, Sean.
Mm-hmm. Let me say.
The American population is approximately 331.9 million people.
All right. So it's a tiny number, really. 9,000 sounds like a lot, but it's not that much when you consider 30 million. people.
And compare that back to January of 2022, and we're looking at over 140,000 new hospital admissions per week.
Right. So, but my whole point is oh my gosh, 17% increase. At 17% increase on 9,000 is only like an extra 1,500 people.
Oh, it's not a 17% increase. It's just saying that of the new COVID cases, 17% of them are this strain.
Oh, geez. So never mind. So not even, yeah. Oh, look.
It's
a
them
commercial.
saying that you might need another vaccine.
I need to get an ad blocker on this computer.
Use the Brave browser. It is kind of built off of Chromium, and it has a built-in ad block for every intrusive ad.
I think Chrome has a built-in ad block too. I just don't have it activated.
No, it's a plugin.
Oh,
On the Brave browser, it is actually built in. It's a very nice browser. I use it.
All right. So, yeah. So basically, everybody stock up on masks because there's an election coming up. I mean, COVID's coming back.
Both are only slightly more resistant to neutralizing antibodies in serum of infected and vaccinated persons.
Cool.
You're slightly more likely to get infected now.
Yeah.
Just slightly.
Slight. So, will you be wearing masks?
No.
What if they tell you to?
I mean, if I don't have if my job tells me to, I will.
What if Walmart tells you to?
I don't go to
I know
Walmart.
you don't go to Walmart. Where do you go besides your work?
I go to IGA.
What if IGA tells you to wear a mask?
I'll just DoorDash my food.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the guys at work, and we pretty much the same thing. Like, if they make us wear a mask at work, I'll wear a mask, but I am not wearing a mask anywhere else. Not again. Never again. If I go
It's
somewhere and they're
too
like,
much.
"Oh, you have to mask come in here," I'm like, "Well, bye."
It's the exception to that. I think is like doctors' offices and stuff.
Right, like the doctor's office, yeah. Or if I'm actually sick,
Yes.
I would wear a mask. If this new COVID thing, going around and I'm sick, I won't wear a mask to make sure I don't get you guys sick, that kind of stuff. But I'm not wearing
I'm
a
not
mask.
gonna wear one
I'm not. Yeah, if I'm
preventatively.
healthy, I'm not wearing a mask. If I'm walking into a crowd of people and they're all coughing, I might put a mask on.
If I'm walking into a crowd of people and they're coughing, I might just turn around.
Might, yeah. Uh,
If I'm walking into a crowd of people, I'm gonna turn around.
I will not be getting any more vaccines for COVID. That's for sure. I haven't had any side effects from the other vaccine for the first time around, which I only took because they offered me money at work. You worked at the same place
Yeah.
at the time, so. But I will not be doing that again. I did not get any side effects, but I don't want to push my luck. Any side effects that I know of.
I had side effects. I got mini COVID from the vaccine.
Well, that's not a side effect. They always say you might get COVID.
Yeah. Anytime you take a vaccine, you're probably going to get a mild case of that virus.
But
Because that's how vaccines work.
I've heard stories of even like people developing. Well, there's the myocarditis thing.
What?
You like people getting myocarditis, which is a heart thing.
Okay, I didn't know what that was.
It's the youngish athletic people dropping dead.
What?
Myocarditis.
I
Yes.
don't know anything
Young
about
people
this.
have always dropped dead.
Yeah.
Perfectly normal. Nothing to do with the virus.
No.
Or I mean
Totally.
the
Nothing to do with the election.
vaccine. Yeah. Hopefully we're too small that YouTube would notice we said that. But yeah, I won't be trying any. I've also heard stories of meat. Becoming allergic to meat.
I have heard that.
I
Yes.
haven't.
There's a certain thing in meat that a
And
small number of
the
people who took the
proteins
vaccine.
proteins or enzymes or something.
Yeah,
in meat,
they had a bad reaction with the
Yeah,
meats.
which I love a prime rib. I am not going to risk that on a COVID vaccine.
Plus, I'm sure because everything is a carcinogen. I'm sure there's a chance it just gave you cancer too.
That too, I've heard that too. Well, to be fair, I had a long week at work, and I ran out of my regular podcasts to listen to while I'm at work.
Oh no.
So I may have put on InfoWars with Alex Jones.
Oh no!
Oh no.
So I am conspiracy theoried up. I am full to the brim.
This is the man who said that chemtrails were turning the frogs gay.
No, he said the water's turning the frogs
Oh,
gay.
sorry, my bad.
By the by, it is. Fluoride causes frogs to become transgender, or not transgender. Both sexes. What do you call that? There's a word for that.
Asexual?
No. Both genders
Poly
is
something or
if they are both genders, then it's
yeah.
oh, there's a word for it.
I know Alex Jones lost that lawsuit with for gazillion dollars, which he's appealing. But he literally 90% of what he says comes true. I mean, he says it in a weird crazy way.
Hermaphrodite.
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 That's not what I was
It's
thinking.
whenever
but
you're
okay.
both, you are both. You have
Yeah.
the parts for both.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that's. I wonder if I could find it on YouTube. I think he's just mentioning his name is banned on YouTube.
And yet we said his name.
Well,
Yes.
you can say his name, but I mean, as far as his videos. No.
This looks like a lot of people saying the opposite of what you're saying.
Well, yeah, because it's YouTube.
It's not my tube.
Ha ha. Let's see if I can find on this one. I'm sure I can find it here.
Maybe. I don't know.
Slow internet.
My internet's not good.
Yes, I know your internet's awesome.
Not what I was saying at all. Because it's not very good internet.
Yeah, neither am I. I disconnect. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can find a good video clip. Top 10 Alex Jones predictions.
Sure.
Let's see. We'll watch another podcast here.
Podcast.
The media and educational institutions
Skip
is
ahead,
in good
skip ahead here
faith.
a little bit.
In this world,
In my head, I know exactly what it means.
the
Horseback.
so just to give an idea of his reach,
No idea
so
where at this video
according to the Rolling Stone magazine, in 2011, Alex Jones had a larger online audience than Glenn Beck and Rush.
Care about his audience.
Obviously, this proof is anecdotal. Somebody walking around with a cock doesn't mean anything.
Well,
Does the world still end in 10 years? Only fucking ultimately, these other
This is
countries will
right.
just go, well, America ain't doing it. Why the fuck are we doing this? And then the WF loses all its power.
All right, let me just try this again. Let me try just a general web search. Maybe I can find. Before I do that, turn this way. You guys don't need to see that. Jones. What did I search for? Predictions. True. La 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 la. Alright. In real life?
I don't like real life.
Incredible Alex Jones predictions that actually came true. Let's see if this has it. This is a video. Let's see. That's loud.
An executive order. It's not a suggestion. It's an order.
We will shut you down. We will take you to jail.
Or even parties.
It's over.
I'm using for you to close.
Quarantine.
Those few bad actors. Action.
The Alex Jones Show, because there is a war on for your mind.
I mean, I'm not even worthy to be bringing you information this powerful. And I hope that you pay attention to what we cover here minute by minute. Because I've had chills since last night. The question is, will you have the courage to really do the research yourself? Because I don't want you to just sit here and hear me make these claims. This just confirms everything else we've already researched.
Get to the prediction part.
Rockefeller study envisions future dictatorship controlled by elite, millions being killed, mandatory quarantines checked.
All right, so this is in 2010. He said that in 15 to 25 years, New World Order tightly controlled by the elite would give tighten down for a pandemic.
Points, everything that's in the other documents, but this dovetails with all the other Rockefeller Foundation documents about the GMO food to sterilize you and the forced vaccines and the hell we're already living in that's just going to continue to intensify until we take our
So, I mean, that one.
government's back.
That
on
one
these
checks out.
eugenics
What else
men.
we got?
It's scary.
One thing the NFL really plans to do this year is take as many precautions as possible just to keep everybody safe. And that starts with the vast majority of teams deciding already that there will be no fans at all on the field and for contact tracing.
But all around the country, there will be empty stadiums and masks.
Can't even conceive that market. Don't have the vaccine, can't go to the ball game.
Everything else, maybe we should look into this. Look, you'll believe it if they release it. So just remember this transmission then.
The Orange County Coroner's Office is investigating the...
Look, you'll believe it. Because everybody in the establishment will still kind of halfway listen now and go, well, he's been right about everything else. Maybe we should look into this. Look, you'll believe it if they release it. So just remember this transmission then.
Vaccine.
She died after suffering blood clots just
Receiving the Pfizer vaccine.
my little sister.
After getting his second dose of the Pfizer vaccine.
Now we're talking about people getting sick from the vaccine.
I am.
That's a good face.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I think that's enough of that rabbit hole. So basically, he said that, like the frogs is one. The frogs turning gay. I mean, they didn't turn gay, but the fluoride that they used to treat the water caused frogs to become not hermaphrodites. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. Whatever it is, they're male and female.
That's what hermaphrodite.
Yeah, but that's different. That's
Hermaphrodite is when you have both
you have
parts.
the genitals, but your XY chromosomes aren't that.
I don't know either.
I don't know. And there was also the chemtrails, which they've come out and said they are putting stuff in the chemtrails in planes. There are chemicals in there, for perfectly good reasons. Nothing diabolical at all.
Yeah.
And there's others.
I like being crop dusted with chemicals.
There's others, but I'm not a big Alex Jones guy, other than this past couple nights when I was listening to him. But so I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. But there are a lot of them that have come true. So anyway, for what it's worth, I need to put that back. All right, there we are. So anyway, what were we talking about? We were talking about COVID 2.0. Yes.
This is COVID 3.0?
Or whatever. Well, big COVID 2.0.
I thought Omicron was
I
COVID
wouldn't be
2.0.
surprised if they push for a big COVID thing with the election next year. I feel like they're prepping us for that. Also, along with that, there was a big monkeypox jump in China. Yeah.
What are they doing with those animals?
I don't
First
know.
the bat, now the monkey.
Did you know Yeah, never mind. Yeah, COVID. So anyway, everybody get ready, get your masks ready. And
No.
COVID, yes. All right, Sean,
Oh, my turn, huh?
pick something to talk about. While he's picking something to talk about, everybody make sure you thumbs up and follow or subscribe on Rumble and YouTube.
Like, subscribe,
That will help
follow.
the show to be seen by many, many, many people. Many more, I guess. Also, if you're on Rumble or YouTube listening or watching live, you could throw something in the chat or in the text there. We can see that. We can say, hey, what's up? Might not be right away. We might not be looking at that very moment, but we will say hi. Sean, what do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about the Bud Light stuff that's happening.
Bud Light. Yes.
Anheuser-Busch.
You guys familiar with Bud Light?
They had a partnership with a transgender person, right?
Yes.
And
Dylan Mulvaney.
that never heard of them before.
But
And that
they
caused a lot
were-
of people to be upset.
I think a TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok.
A big TikTok thing.
TikTok is rotting brains.
Yes.
We all know this.
His big thing was his he tracked his days, like the so and so day of being a woman, like for a whole year or whatever. So that was Dylan's big thing, like transitioning and documenting it on TikTok. Daily or whatever.
So how does this lead to partnering with Bud Light?
Well, how it led to is because the person in charge of marketing for Bud Light was a fairly new woman from college who felt that Bud Light needed to try to go for the LGBTQ community because
Terrible mistake, by the way.
Yeah.
Know your target audience.
Yes,
I'm
that would be
sorry, but
nice.
like, I know that a lot of the older generations don't really put too much emphasis on LGBTQ stuff because it was never a big deal, right? And
I'm an older generation.
Yeah.
And my whole take on it is growing up, we would use the gay F word. I'm going to say it because YouTube doesn't like it. The gay F word.
The British word for
with-
cigarettes.
Yes, among our friends,
Also
just
means
as
a bundle of
hey,
sticks.
you're stupid. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
It didn't mean anything. It was just like you're
I'm
being.
gonna give a little insight here. I still do.
Yeah, yeah. So, and there weren't a lot of openly gay people when I was growing up. There were people we knew like, oh, that person's gay, but they weren't like openly gay like now. Once it became more accepted, and that's a key here, accepted. Most people were okay with it. There was some picking on because it's different. It's not what we were used to. Fine, but it came to a point where we were like, okay, we accept it. You're gay.
I'm gonna make fun of you just like we would anyone else.
Yeah, I make fun of my straight friends, make fun of my gay friends. And then suddenly just accepting it wasn't enough. Suddenly you have to like rejoice with them. It's like, well, no, I just have to accept it. It's like I don't have to be happy for you. I just accept it. Like I don't care I don't care what your opinion is of my sexual life. It's like, why do you care if I care what you do with your sexual life? Because that should just be between you and your partner. So that's what I think, especially the older generation, that's where the pushback is coming from because we don't understand the need for everybody. Because I've seen clips
one
of
does.
like transgender people being like, if you're not willing to have sex with a gay person, then you're phobic. It's like, well, no.
Yeah, I will not. I don't understand the people in the extremes like that. Like, if you
Right.
won't have sex with a man, then you're a
Homophobic.
homophobe. It's like, no, I'm just not into it.
Yeah.
I have nothing against people. I'm not into it.
Right.
There's a key component to having sex with someone, and that ain't gonna happen.
Yes. So, and that's a big part. And now with the like the what do you call it? With the I can't think of the name.
What are you thinking of?
The story hours with the kids.
I don't understand the big deal about this
Oh.
because why are drag queens wanting to
The
read the
drag
kids?
queen story hour. That's my point. It's not necessarily a big deal.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I don't mind. I don't care who reads to kids. I don't, as long as you're just reading to the kids and that's it. But why is it a big deal whether they do or not?
Well, here's the thing. Drag queens are fun. I've seen drag queens and they're generally fun.
Yeah.
Most of the time their names are inappropriate. They have like double entendre names. And it's really if you've ever seen like a drag queen show, it's like a burlesque kind of show, which is not appropriate for kids. It's like having, the strip club story hour for kids. It's not.
But I mean, they're not stripping in the library, are they?
I've seen pictures. They're not stripping, but they're not fully dressed. Like,
See, that is an issue.
right. That's
You-
what I'm saying. And that's
I
why
understand a
why
lot
the
of
need. If you're dressed like Mrs. Doubtfire and you want to read to my kids, go ahead.
like I don't care what you're dressed as if you're gonna read to my kids, as long as you're dressed.
Right. Well, yeah. Then that's the biggest issue I think that and I know that's the biggest issue is not it's not appropriate because drag queens aren't appropriate for kids.
They're adult entertainment.
Yes, I have no problem with putting on a show for adults, And the story hour, like I said, if they're fully dressed head to toe, like Mrs. Doubtfire, fine. Whoever wants to read to the kids, read to the kids. If you look like a librarian, you want to read to the kids. Why does it have to be brought up what your sexual proclivity is?
It shouldn't.
Exactly.
Maybe reading to children shouldn't be something political.
Right. And I understand a lot of drag queens, especially like transgender is a little different, but drag queens, most of them are they like to dress up.
Yeah, it's just a fun hobby for them.
Right. Just call it story hour.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be something else. Like it's just I want to.
You don't need to name it something
great.
where the kids are like, well, what's a drag queen? Well, no, just say story hour, because I don't want especially at those ages that are doing story hours is elementary school. I don't want the elementary school teaching the kids about heterosex, let alone transgender sex or
Just sex in
drag
general.
queens or I
Kids
don't want
don't need to know anything about sex
right,
until
other than
they
which,
are of
all
the
they
age
need to
where
know
you tell
is
them
which
not
bathroom
to.
to use.
Yeah.
Use the penis bathroom or the vagina bathroom.
Kids don't need to know anything about any of that stuff until they're of the age to where you tell them don't do it.
They don't need to know anything about sex until they learn it from their friends.
What? That was before any sexual education from the school system. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yes. Because that's where my sexual education came from.
That's where most of mine came from.
Yeah. So
I'll never forget the day that they brought us in to talk about STDs. We had it was like hot dogs for lunch.
They talking about Stone Temple Pilots?
The big presentation in the
hot
auditorium.
dogs for lunch.
It's like hot dogs and spaghetti.
Was it the phys ed teacher who did the presentation?
No, it was a big. It was like a video in the auditorium.
Okay.
It was in middle school. It was great. It was hilarious. It was just that's gross.
Yeah. Ours was in
Probably
gym.
why
in
they
gym
fed you
class.
the hot dogs and
And
spaghetti.
then that led out right into lunch.
Today for lunch we'll be having wieners.
And spaghetti.
Yeah, I think you could choose hot dogs or spaghetti.
Just here.
We still talk about it.
Yes.
It's hilarious. Anyway, back to the original point. I understand a lot of that stuff, but I mean, from a purely business standpoint, maybe if you're working at a company for marketing purposes, you should know what their demographic is.
Yeah.
And the kind of people who are drinking Bud Light. First of all, it's light beer.
It's
generally drinking by older people.
Yeah, it's drinking. It's drank by people who don't want to get drunk. They just want to enjoy a very slight buzz, hanging out,
drinking their flavored water.
Yeah, flavored water. Yes, You're not. It's very hard to get drunk on Bud Light, but it is good if you're gonna
multiple reasons.
But it's good if you're hanging out having a barbecue or something, and it's just something you can drink and just keep drinking, not think about it. And that's they're at a football game or whatever where you don't want to get totally wasted, although people do. And that's what Bud Light is. It's not, like you said, it's not. And Anheuser-Busch has never been like their commercials were always like funny and lighthearted. It was they had the Budweiser frogs. They had
what?
Oh, stop! Now I gotta look at videos.
Budweiser frogs.
Frogs.
I am definitely intrigued. Are they gay?
Oh well,
are they turning
drinking
they're turning the Budweiser frogs gay?
I wouldn't be surprised anymore.
Let's see if I can spell Budweiser.
Like that.
Budweiser ads.
Frogs. It was right there.
Budweiser ads over the years. So anyway, their ads have not been political. They're always lighthearted, goofy ads.
if we go back to this other article, something he said, one of the guys at the top bush of Anheuser-Busch, he was like, my family lived by the motto making friends, bringing people together, making it a fun drinking experience. Like that's their goal.
Right. So let's see 10 famous Budweiser Super Bowl
And also maybe as a business, maybe keeping politics out of your advertisements is just a smart way to go.
Yeah.
Not everything has to be political or about LGBTQ or COVID or anything else. Just show me an ad for a beer.
Right.
Maybe I'll buy it.
I don't understand. That's the thing I don't understand with like Target and all these other companies. It's like, why are you risking this big backlash over what amounts to a political? It's like as a business, if I owned a business, I would keep my mouth shut. Sorry.
If I was a business, I'm not going to say anything
why
one way or another.
Why are you putting your foot in that? Shut up. Sorry. There you go.
Like, you just don't have to say anything. Be inclusive by not talking about it.
So then the question is, well, so why are they? Like, you gotta think that they've had this thought. Like, I could just keep my mouth shut and not be involved in this one way or the other.
Well, I think their goal was probably to widen their audience, right? Widen their demographic to the people who would be.
But they gotta know there's gonna be backlash.
I think they expected less backlash.
I mean, Target was after Budweiser. Already had that backlash. You don't think Target was like, why would I want to step foot into this thing? All right. So this is a video showing the top 10 Budweiser Anheuser-Busch commercials. I know. So let's see what.
We are not sponsored by Anheuser-Busch. No.
However, if they want to. All right, this is just a cute woman with a puppy. And I believe this has a Clydesdales. This one's just good old American. Clydesdales to the rescue.
The cover of I Will Walk 5 Million Miles.
I like this version. I don't remember this commercial.
I've seen this commercial before.
Nice.
Oh, these are all Super Bowl commercials.
Yeah.
Okay. I swear I've seen that one before.
Probably at a Super Bowl.
Oh my god. It exists.
Of course it exists. There's the frog commercial. I can't believe you guys never saw that.
I love that.
Seen it.
I got some bad news. We got canned. They want us off the rocks by the end of the day.
What did you just say?
Canned? Who got canned?
Okay, freeze the swamp. You guys can talk.
Of course we can talk, you bonehead.
What does canned mean?
But all you said was bud and
We were reading from the script. You should try it sometime.
What does canned mean?
Don't be fired.
Canned means fired? I can't breathe. Gonna get sick?
Wait, no, don't get sick.
Getting sick?
Put your head between your legs.
Someone get him a bucket.
Now, how is that supposed to sell beer?
Oh, the Clydesdales
Since I was
back.
born, I dreamed of being a Budweiser Clydesdale. Only problem is, I was born a donkey. So all my life, I practiced the Clydesdale walk and the Clydesdale pull.
All right, so there's Clydesdales with
I
a
even
donkey.
tried hair extensions on my lower legs. And then came my big interview.
Skip ahead. He made it.
What the? Dreams do come true.
A whole bunch of animals. tryouts for Clydesdale?
Now look what you started.
Gosh, I hope I'm not too late.
They like having follow-ups.
Yes, they were always good at follow-ups too. I don't remember this one. Very
The giant crab.
It's very Little Mermaid. It's also very the little green men from Toy Story.
Ah.
Ah.
Bye
Know
bye
something,
then.
Lou?
Yeah.
I know why we got fired. Too much of your yapping and not enough of
All right,
this.
we're
What's
frogs.
that?
Boring. Keep going.
Who's your daddy?
He's changing
Come on,
colors.
squirt some tears, punk.
Another lost dog. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Course for this year's hits team is Thunder. Thunder.
Thunder.
Maybe next year, Hank.
Hank. Horse named Hank.
I love Hank. Hank goes through a rocky moment.
What? Long commercial.
Super Bowl commercials are long.
True.
Hank.
A lot of dogs and horses.
Well, that's America. Or horses. Well, God bless America. Very patriotic stuff. That was for 9/11, I think. No. All right, so there you go.
If you're
Top
serious about your
Budweiser
podcast,
commercials.
stop recording with Zoom.
Stop recording with Zoom.
Why would you be cool with Zoom anyway?
I
I
don't know.
options out there.
We have guests with Zoom. I don't know about recording. So it basically, yeah, they're not known for being into politics with their commercials.
People that
always-
drink beer really don't relate to that kind of advertising.
Did you want to watch the interview with the guy?
Sure.
Let's see what he has to say.
Don't forget to blow up the interview. So it's bigger. Don't. I quit.
You can't just quit.
Get to wait for the ad to wait for the commercial, the video to load.
This is one of those companies that, like, he's the heir to it, right? Like, he inherited the Anheuser-Busch company. You don't have to do anything. Like, you own Anheuser-Busch, you're just making money for the rest of your life.
Right. Yeah. And to be fair, I mean,
Not anymore though.
Oh,
The-
they're still making money.
the Bud Light brand. Stop. The Bud Light brand lost a lot. Anheuser-Busch not so much. They made back. I mean, more a lot of their other brands that they own picked up the slack. When people stopped drinking Bud Light, they
They
went
started
to other
drinking other
brands which
things.
happened to be owned by Anheuser-Busch, which is fine. So this was on Hannity.
Oh my god, they have like a near monopoly on beer.
Yeah.
They own Corona?
There's Dylan Mulvaney, by the way. Let's put this over here.
Seemingly endless fallout. Take a look.
I think
That's
my family, my ancestors would have rolling over in their grave. They were very patriotic. They loved this country and what it stood for. They believed that transgender, gays, that sort of thing was all a very personal issue.
What I said. Personal issue.
And it should be a personal
Yeah.
issue. I mean,
Well, Norm Macdonald,
Yeah.
The comedian. Did you ever hear his proud of my gay son?
Oh, I've heard a lot of Norm Macdonald jokes. I don't know if I've heard his gay son joke.
All right, we're gonna put a pause on this guy here for a minute.
And everything is worth pausing for Norm Macdonald. But
Yeah.
by the way, Anheuser-Busch. So obviously they have the buds, right? They own Stella Artois. They own Michelob, Corona, Modelo. Like,
They own a lot.
yeah, they own a lot of beer.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
of these I've never even heard of.
The one that took over the #1 spot from Bud Light was, it's owned by Budweiser, but not in America. It's weird. Like they own the rights to it outside of America, but inside America, somebody else. It's a weird thing. All right, I think this is it.
I wouldn't have been surprised if it was Michelob Ultra that took over.
No, it was like Modelo or something like that. It was one of those other brands. All right.
I love Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, Norm Macdonald's the best. My videos, my computer's not, but Norm Macdonald is.
Have you ever done anything in your long and storied career that you consider specifically to be in bad taste as you look back on it? Maybe at the time you thought it was a good play, but you look back on it and you think that was in bad taste.
Well, sometimes, like in stand-up, I'll do jokes that are like one time I was doing this thing in San.
It froze.
Francisco, and they were all gay people in the audience, they told me. So I figured I'll
In
do
San Francisco?
Yeah.
No.
So I figured I'd do stuff about gay people so that they could relate to
Yeah,
it.
it's warm up. They love that.
And so I was talking about, because I went to this gay pride parade, and I saw in it there were these old men and old ladies like with these signs that said, "We are proud of our gay son," you know? And so I was saying, that's an odd thing to be proud of, you know, because it's not an achievement, you know? It's not like something you work all your life to be gay or anything like that. And I just wondered, I had a hard time believing that these 50, 60-year-old men are actually bragging, you know, at work like they're, "Hey, Bill, you know, my kid, oh my God, we're proud of him, Johnny. He graduated from Harvard, you know, first in his class, you know what I mean? Now he's articling over at a law firm, and, oh yeah, he loves cock." You know? This kid. He can't get enough cock in his mouth, his ass. This kid's always cock. I got a picture of the boy here sucking another man's cock.
So anyway, so along the lines of what this other guy was saying, yeah, it's a personal thing. Like nobody cares what you do with your sex life. Just we don't need to know it.
No, we don't.
So anyway.
They love this country because it is a free country and people are allowed to do what they want. But it was never meant to be on a beer can and never meant to be pushed in people's faces.
Joining us now is the author of Family Reigns. Billy Bush is with us. Well, by the way, what a great legacy for you, and your family's background is pretty incredible. The story of success.
When I first heard his name, I thought he was related to like President Bush.
No, he's got the C in his name.
Well,
oh wait, so this is the Anheuser-Busch heir.
Yes, this guy.
Okay.
The guy on the right.
So he's the heir to it.
The guy on
and
the left is Sean Hannity.
Dylan Mulvaney is
the gay guy.
Oh, okay, and that was him.
Dylan is transgender.
That was him just talking.
No,
that's
him.
That's the ad talking. The ad is talking about the ad, saying how it was a mistake.
Yes, the American dream personified. Why would they be rolling over in their grave? You know, delve a little deeper into that.
I think that, they, first of all, wouldn't have ever gotten as political as this. And let's face it, the transgender topic today has become very, very political. And it's not wise for a beer company to get into that game.
No, it's not.
I think that it's difficult enough to be advertising beer and to try to do it and be political about it, I think it's just not the way to go.
My fear from the very beginning, and at one point I got some people with transgender activist Dylan Mulvaney on Friday, the Anheuser-Busch hair, Billy Bush, not to be, confused with the Reigns. Billy Bush is with us. By the way, what a great...
Ever gotten as political as this. And let's face it, the transgender topic today has become very, very political. And it's not wise for a beer company to get into that game. I think that it's difficult enough to be advertising beer and to tell about it. I think it's just not the way to go.
My fear from the very beginning, and at one point I got some people mad at me because I said, I don't apologize for getting into the political arena. We made a mistake. We're sorry. If it would work now, it would seem like an act of desperate at work in the brewery, and one's paying the price. They're now losing.
And I think the company greatly miscalculated what they thought was being inclusive, but it really was divisive. I think my family was, they lived by the motto, making friends is our business, and they believe that bringing people together, making it a sociable, fun beer drinking experience was the way to go. But, people that drink Bud Light, that drink beer, really don't relate to that kind of advertising. And
you don't say.
I think that's the takeaway right there.
I could not tell.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the parent company's not going to approve of the thing that pretty much destroyed a brand, whether they agree or not. But I'm pretty sure they don't. Like, their commercials have never been political, so it makes sense for them not to agree with it. But
yeah,
but it's also, they're a parent company. Bud Light is like a subsidiary at that point. They don't necessarily get their hands into the details.
Yeah,
of
they
it.
don't necessarily get the day to day.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't know that was going to happen until it happened, and they're like, "What?"
On another side of this, to kind of maybe just play devil's advocate for some of this. Yeah. Why do you care what's on their commercial? Like, if you like drinking Bud Light, why does it matter?
It does. It doesn't. I mean, but it's also
like if there's a product I like,
right,
and they make a commercial that involves something that I really don't like,
right,
like I don't give a shit.
Right.
I like the product.
And there's a lot of people that, and even like a very far right political show that I watch is Anthony Cumia. He's way far right. He drinks Bud Light, like on his show. Still does. He's like, I don't care.
Yeah, it's just, it doesn't matter.
He's like, it was stupid, but I don't care.
Like the people that get upset about this, like, sure, maybe they're a voice for the demographic saying that they just don't care, but at the same time, it's just, why does it matter?
It doesn't matter, but it's also the point of kind of like with the story hour thing. It's at some point you feel like you have to push back because it's being shoved down your throat. Does that make sense?
I mean, kind of, but it was just one, like, what was it, like a commercial? Like, what did they actually do with
It wasn't even a commercial. It was just and it wasn't even a full, from what I understand, it was like a limited production of some cans with Dylan Mulvaney on it.
Included Mulvaney's face on special Bud Light cans, which a spokesperson previously said were not for sale to the general public.
Yeah, it was a limited run type deal. I think it was like for Dylan to show on his TikTok thing.
So how is that being shoved down anyone's throat? Like, how is that being shoved in anyone's face?
Well,
it's a limited run.
It's
you know?
not. But a lot of, not that specific thing is being shoved down our throats, but there's a lot of it that is being shoved down our throats.
Okay.
I mean, so I think it was just like a tipping point for a lot of people. I mean, I don't drink beer anyway, but a lot of people, especially the people that drink Bud Light, which is a lot of flyover states people, you know, people in the country, not in the cities, that they don't want to have anything to do with this stuff. And like I said, it's kind of like a tipping point, and right on the heels of Pride Month, where it's like thrown in your face everywhere you go. And I think that's the big pushback. It wasn't, like I said, and when it was presented, it wasn't really presented that this wasn't a big marketing campaign. It seemed like it was a ramp up to a big marketing campaign at the time when it came out. And then it came out, well, it was just a limited run. It's like, well, nobody led with that part of the story. Everybody just led with, look at this, that there was like an agreement, what do you call it, sponsorship thing, but it wasn't. So there was some misunderstanding there, but I think a lot of it, like I said, was just kind of a tipping point with people who are like, just slow down. And, I was going to say something. Oh, like, there was, I think it was a New York City Pride March this past, the June Pride Month. I'm pretty sure it was New York City. Like, growing up, there was always the Pride March cheer was always, we're here, we're queer, we're fabulous, get used to us. It was like the first couple times they like televised like the Pride March. That was like the big thing. So it was catchy and it was fun. But there was, I saw the video clip of this. I could pull it up if you want, but my computer takes for half an hour. But it was they were marching down the street saying, "We're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children."
See that? That is not the message you want to send.
Right. And I can get that they were kind of saying that tongue in cheek with everything that's been going on with the story hours and stuff like that.
Maybe
I get it.
Maybe
But
not
perhaps,
the best time.
Yeah, perhaps not. And especially, and I don't get this, like the Pride marches are always like I know and I've known gay people, and they're not like what you see in the Pride March. Like the Pride March parades are really pretty disgusting. Like people are like wearing like nothing but thongs and like big hairy guys. Like it's not appropriate. And families are bringing their kids to watch these parades. It's like it's like this is inappropriate for me.
And I think a lot of that probably just confuses the whole like clash even more, where it's like people get upset that children are seeing a man in a thong walking down the street times
Right.
50, and then people take that as like, oh, you're homophobic. It's like, no, I don't want my kid to see your thong hanging
But
around.
I have a bigger problem with the parents bringing the kid to that.
Yeah.
I mean, these parades are the same every year. It's not like they've gotten worse. It's like
It's not
don't
like
bring
you
your kid
can't
to that.
leave.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, that's not an appropriate place for your kid. Anyway, so that's Sean, thoughts?
Speak your piece.
I know you may not agree with us or me.
I mean,
Matthew and I kind of differ a little bit, but
I have no problem with anyone in the LGBTQ
The
community.
moment they include children, no.
Okay, well,
I think we all agree on that. We
Yeah.
all agree on that.
I have no problem with the LGBT community. I have many friends that are of varying parts of it.
As
It's
long as
just-
they keep it in the bedroom.
there's well, you don't even have to. I don't care
Well,
if you keep it in the bedroom.
If you're a transgender, you can't keep that in the bedroom.
Yeah, I don't
mean,
care if you
that's-
keep it in the bedroom. What I want is
Don't include me.
I just want everyone to shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah.
Yes. And-
Like I don't care one way or another.
Right.
Like I know that they had to, people had to fight for homosexual marriages. Like they had
Right.
to legalize that.
Right.
And like in my head, I'm just like, why the fuck was it illegal to begin with?
Right. That I don't care about. The reason it was illegal to begin with.
Marriage is a religious thing.
No, not even.
Not even.
Not even. There was people that for that, but it was more insurance. It raises the insurance rates because now you're covering more people.
That is the stupidest reason. That is so
I'm not saying
stupid.
it's smart. I'm just saying that was the reason given.
That is a bean counter reason.
Oh, because now because being in a partnership like that, you've got more benefits that you didn't have before. And if you're getting more benefits, that means someone's losing stuff. Like money's being put into that to give you benefits. So it's a tax increase, basically. Which I don't think, I don't think marriage at all should be recognized by the government.
No, because it
has nothing to do with the government.
It is a religious ceremony.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be religious. It's between you and your partner. But
Yeah.
I don't understand why it has to be like I get a marriage license from the government because I want to live with my wife. That's between me, my wife, my God, if I believe in God. It's like it's nothing to do with the government.
Yeah.
So I've never understood that. So I've never understood the not allowing
Marriage
gay
marriage is saying, I love you so much, let's get the government involved.
Yeah. And the other thing, as far as like kids wise, is and the transgender thing is like young teenagers who are being allowed to start the transition process, which I don't agree with.
I think bare minimum you should have to be 18.
Yes.
And even beyond that, there's so many things in at least America that are limited until you're 25.
What's limited till you're 25?
Like renting cars.
Oh, well, that's a
I know,
thing.
but and insurance.
That's an
Insurance goes
insurance thing.
down after 25.
Yeah, but that's why you can't rent the cars. The
Because
insurance.
scientifically, 25 is about the time when your brain stops developing.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't see a problem with you.
Different for men or women.
Yeah, but its average is about 25.
Yeah. But yeah, I understand. I wouldn't have a problem with that either. But I don't see that. I wouldn't see it as being fair. Like if someone wants to do this, I'm like 18, or even if you want to go 21. Like I don't know if 18 is a good adult age.
Okay.
You
So
guys are closer to the adult age.
There was a time when I lived with a bunch of my friends, and we were all over 21 at the time, I think, just about. But one of my friends, we lived with him and his wife at the time, and she was a few years younger. She was like 18, 19 at the time, and we lived with them for a few years. And in between the time when she was like 18, 19, even just 2 years later to 21, she changed dramatically.
Oh yeah.
Like, she was an entirely different person after 2 years. So personally, I don't think 18 is a good age for anything.
Yeah, but you have to draw the line somewhere.
I know,
And
but
I
I mean,
feel like
so many other like.
Or remember back to when you were 18. Like you wanted to make your own decisions.
Yeah.
Like that was just a few years for you.
I understand wanting to make your own decisions, yes, but
18 years is a long time to go without being able to exert your own influence on your own life.
yeah,
So I get erring on that side of drawing the line there as opposed to 21.
I mean, bare minimum, I wouldn't want it to happen. I wouldn't want it to be allowed below 18 at all.
Oh yeah, no.
Because if
definitely.
18 is the legal age of you are an adult, you are your own guardian, you make your own choices,
Right.
then fine. You know, that can
Yeah.
be the age where you make that choice for yourself. But just in my experience, I would err towards at 21.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
because 21, I don't know, you get your fill of like doing things. Because once you're 21, you can do anything.
Right.
Almost. Like I think some hotels and like renting a car and stuff.
Right. But I don't even think hotels anymore. The
I
car
think
yes,
hotels
but I
are
think
just
it's an
21.
insurance thing.
Hotels are a lot of hotels are 18, but some will say you have to be 21.
Yeah.
I don't know. Once you turn 21, it's like all those things that you couldn't do until you were 21, they lose their charm really quickly.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, I don't know.
That's
I personally would err towards the age of 21. But
yeah, but you
I
can't
can
really.
see 18.
Yeah.
Like
you have-
if it was 18, I would understand. I'd be like, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, and like, and it's a process anyway. It's not like as soon as they turn 18, you're going to transition to something. You know,
Yeah, no,
there's
it's-
hormones and stuff like that.
It's like
It's
years.
also like surgeries.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Like, I've heard stories and I've seen videos of people like 12, 13 years old getting put on hormone therapy because they feel like it's a boy, it feels like it should be a girl, or vice versa. And it's like, well, now you're just screwing up. Like, their body's not done developing, and you're
Yeah,
just
that causes
screwing
so
it
many
all up.
issues.
Yeah, like they want to put these kids that want to transition at a young age. They want to put them on these hormone blockers to stop them from the
Developing.
hormones from developing. Like the hormones don't just develop your body; they develop your brain too. Like
Yeah.
you so much changes hormonally, like when you're in that age range. Like so much, like emotions and this and that. Like you can't make that decision. Like emotionally, you can't make that decision, and it doesn't make sense that doctors, especially, are letting people like. I mean, it's an actual psychological diagnosis. Body dysmorphia is believing that
Yeah.
you're not in the right body or whatever.
And I've also heard that some like around the internet that they can talk to you for like 10 minutes and decide that.
Yeah, and there's people who believe like they shouldn't have a right arm because they've got this body dysmorphia. Well, we don't chop off the arm; we get them the therapist to talk it out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like just because you believe something, we don't just chop it off. We talk. You know, we put you in to see a psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever you have to therapist to figure out, you know, fix you because you're broken. So what's
But,
the difference
I
in
mean,
someone who thinks, well, I shouldn't have breasts? Well, maybe we should talk about this before we.
And if when we're
Chop
done
them
talking, you still feel that way, then
And you're
maybe we can
18.
start chopping.
And you're 18. Yeah, that's the big thing. I don't understand. I mean, I don't think there's many cases of doing the actual surgery before 18. But there are the hormone therapy. Yeah,
Which
there's
is
a few, but there's not
arguably
many.
more harmful.
Yeah, because you're not done developing, and it's
'Cause
not just
hormones-
physically. You
the
develop.
hormones are not just physical.
And
Yeah,
the worst
they're-
part is that the surgeries are irreversible.
Right. Yeah. Well, they'll tell you they're reversible, but yeah.
they're
And there's also like
They're
so
not-
many risks involved.
they're not realistically reversible. If they're chopping something off and putting something else there, you're not. If you reverse it, you're not
Yeah.
getting the same thing back.
Yeah, you're basically getting the same surgery for the reverse. So you're just chopping off. You're mutilating more. Anyway.
And I have no interest in knowing anything about those surgeries.
Oh, really? I can pull up.
I have no interest.
I can just
don't
tell you the facts
care.
right now.
I don't care if
I
you
don't
know,
know
a
research on 'em.
consenting adult goes through that surgery. It doesn't
Right,
affect me. I don't give a
exactly.
shit. Just don't let kids make those decisions.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that because I'm against anyone being transsexual. I'm against that because children shouldn't be making any important decisions.
True that.
Or any decisions. Children are stupid. Kids are dumb. Don't let them affect their lives like that.
That is true.
So true.
I think we exhausted that topic. What do you think?
I think we should listen to that Norm Macdonald moth joke.
The what?
The Norm Macdonald moth joke.
What are you looking at?
It's at the bottom of your page.
Did you just put that there?
Yes, I did.
Is that a link?
Yes, it is.
It's not. It is. All right.
This is one of my
Hold on.
favorite Norm
Oh,
Macdonald
and
jokes.
then we'll go down a Norm Macdonald rabbit hole because I've got another one for you too.
Oh, I love Norm Macdonald.
All right. So moth joke.
Moth joke. That should have been a link you could have just opened.
It was, but I've already got YouTube open here, so with the way my computer's working, it'll probably
Moth
just
joke.
be faster to do it this way. All right, so we'll look up more Norm Macdonald's moth joke.
Don't do the first one. Go down to the one at the bottom.
Sorry.
Got an alarm
that
in the middle of the
for?
show.
Oh, I've got alarms all over the place.
Why?
Because
Sounded
I
like
work
a-
weird hours.
Sounded like some Crash Bandicoot soundtrack there.
It wasn't. It was. I think that was Cruel Summer.
It's a song.
Thank you.
Oh. All right, so let's get this. While this video's loading, we will slide this over here. Hopefully, there's not an ad.
Or should be
Oh,
an
there
ad.
will
Oh,
be.
there's going to be an ad. Guaranteed.
Okay, we're back with
Nope,
Adam
no ad.
Egget and Egget rather.
Guy goes into a dentist.
Egret and Egget rather.
Guy goes into a dentist.
All right, here we go. Guy goes into a dentist. Come on.
This might not be the same joke because the one I have is from Conan.
Probably the same joke.
Who knows? Hold
Dennis said, "What are you doing here?" He said, "I think I'm a moth."
A moth.
A moth. He said, "What?" "I think I'm a moth." He said, "Well, you have mental problems. You need to go see a psychiatrist." He said, "I know." He said, "You're in a dentist's office." He said, "I know." He said, "What are you doing here? Why did you come here?" He said, "The light was on."
Got it?
Yeah, but Norm tells it in a minute and 20 seconds.
Hold on.
Norm has a special way of telling jokes. Go down a bit. Oh my God, where is it?
I think it was
If you go
probably
click,
this
click the link.
Which
no,
one?
that one's in Spanish. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
The link goes right to the Conan bit.
While we're waiting for that to load. Let's see how long it takes to load. Oh my goodness. While we're waiting for that to load, I've got a joke for you.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So there's a lion. I heard this from another podcast, so if somebody knows it, don't worry about it. There's a lion. No, it stopped him. Right. So there's a lion. He's got a paw stuck in a trap.
Uh-huh.
What?
Uh-huh.
I thought you said you heard it.
No.
So he's sitting there stuck with it, the paw in the trap. So he can't get out, and a monkey comes up behind him and sees that he's stuck and has sex with him and then
What?
runs off. He's like, he runs off. So later on, the lion gets out of the trap. He's like, "Where's that damn monkey? I'm going to go kick his butt." So he's running all over trying to find this monkey. So the monkey hears that he's looking for him. So he ducks into a bar. Don't ask me why there's a bar. He ducks into a bar, hides in the corner, he's like reading a newspaper, holding up a newspaper, reading a newspaper. So lion bursts into the bar and says, "Where's that damn monkey?" And everybody's looking at him like, "What are you talking about?" And the monkey in the corner like, raises his head up behind the paper. He goes, "You, have you seen that monkey?" He goes, "The one that had sex with the lion?" And the lion goes, "It's in the paper already?"
I've seen that somewhere before.
All right, so here's Norm Macdonald doing the moth joke on
You're muted.
Conan.
Unmute the video.
On
and
Conan?
Then play the video.
On
Thanks,
Conan,
sir.
yes.
There you go.
Goes into a podiatrist's office. All right.
You are correct.
All right.
A
Okay,
moth
start.
goes into a podiatrist's office.
A moth goes into a podiatrist's office. All right.
You are correct. A moth goes into a podiatrist's office, and the podiatrist's office says, "What's the problem?" And the moth says, "What's the problem? Where do I begin, man?" He goes, "I go to work for Gregory Olinovich, and all day long I work." Honestly, Doc, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I don't even know if Gregory Olinovich knows. He only knows that he has power over me, and that seems to bring him happiness. But I don't know. I wake up in a malaise, and I walk here and there. He says, "Doc, sometimes I feel like a spider, even though I'm a moth, just barely hanging on to my web with an everlasting fire underneath me. I'm not feeling good." And so the doctor says, "Moth, man, you're troubled. But you should be seeing a psychiatrist. Why on earth did you come here?" And then the moth said, "Because the light was on."
I like Norm's version better. He always
somewhere-
sounds like he doesn't know what he's talking about, but he ends up there.
He knows where the end of the sentence is, and he's
Yes.
just wandering his way there.
Yes.
I have heard an even longer version. There's
I'm
like
sure you
a
have.
5-minute version of this joke. Because did you not see the cut? There was a pretty obvious cut there.
All right,
Because
so
the moth talks about his son and his wife and all this stuff. It's hilarious.
so this is Norm Macdonald. I'm going to pull up Norm Macdonald on The View. Have you ever seen this?
Yes, I
Have you?
saw this on our
Have you?
drive.
No, I haven't.
All right. So this is The View is. Do you know what The View is?
No.
All right.
It's
It's
an
a
old talk
bunch
show.
of. It's
Okay.
yeah. It's still on, but it's
Still old.
It's a bunch of very
Is it that one?
very left-leaning women.
For 10 minutes straight.
Yes. So this one.
Yes. Now, Sean, do you know all the shady stuff about the Clintons?
Yes.
Great. You need to.
Yes. Oh, look, a commercial.
And one of the ladies, they're like friends with the Clintons, right?
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm sure a few of them are. Skip the ad yet?
Norm Macdonald was a based person.
Yes.
He was incredible.
I can't believe the show is still in the air.
So try these words out. Droll, sarcastic, controversial, hilarious. Well, those are some of the words that are used to describe Norm Macdonald's character on his sitcom, Norm. But as you will see in this clip,
You had a
people
sitcom?
may think twice before they use the words smooth or charming. Take a look.
Hey, Lori. Hey, look, I can see your underwear there.
You're supposed to see him.
Yeah, that's a little desperate, isn't it?
I'm playing tennis with Shelley.
Here it comes out on the show.
Look what happened.
That's the face of I don't give a flying F.
This is a man who knows what he is
Okay,
about.
Norm, you're Canadian.
Yes, I am.
So what do you think of this whole presidential mess?
Well, I hope that the Democrats don't steal the election from the
Right off the bat. And people thought only stolen elections happen only in 2020.
No.
a winner, you know, but
I hope the Democrats don't steal the election from the winner.
I love
Oh, he's
George Bush,
already
man. He's
great.
a good man, decent, you know, none of this. He's, you know, he's not a liar, a crook, murderer, or anything like that. So
Just call the president a liar,
it'd be
crook,
good to
murderer.
get the. See, I think we should get the homicide out of the White House. And get,
That should not be a controversial thing to say.
No, it
No,
shouldn't.
it's not.
like a fresh start, because we don't want any more murderers.
I think
don't
we
want
should just go on to the next question. Yeah.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered guys.
Just in case you weren't sure what I said about getting murders out of the White House. Clinton. she like lined up a softball pitch like, who are the murderers? Just in case you weren't sure who
Just
he
in
was talking
case.
about.
Democrats in
But
general.
no accusations without
That's a
proof,
little
darling.
too
That's
far.
the way it does
Let's
work.
just go on to the next question.
Yeah.
This is not my week. What can I tell you?
Oh, it's not mine either, and I'm being very nice, okay? Be a good boy. Now, Norm.
Do you never hear that?
No, listen,
No,
we don't need
I
to
don't want
talk
to get
about
into
that.
this, and I don't want to hear it, and this is not the place to make those accusations, and you're supposed to be funny. Let's get on to it.
I think he's hilarious.
He's great. Like
There you go.
the audience believes them.
Live show.
Not for nothing, Norm, but you have been properly chastised by Barbara, so I'm now going to ask the next
I
question.
thought it was a matter of record.
Does not let it go.
He does not care.
I'll tell you what's a matter of record. You will not be invited back if you don't shut up. All right, now. Let's talk football.
All right, manslaughter.
Let's talk football.
Norm, did you ever hear the word?
The phone is ringing.
I certainly hope that's that's somebody calling to tell you to go home.
Oh, no.
Have you seen this part?
Yes.
Oh.
Answer the phone.
Hello? Oh, yeah. Oh, no. The thing is this. There, you know Matt Strauss?
Yeah, the producer.
The producer, he told me it would be funny. He said, like, why don't you carry a cell phone on and then let it ring and then pretend.
So the producer of the show, before he goes out, says, "Here, take this phone and we'll ring it. We'll do a little bit." He's just like, the producer said to answer the phone would be funny. Anyway, that's Norm Macdonald. Just not giving a crap about anything other than wanting to get the murderers out of the White House.
Which, again, should not be a controversial statement.
Hot take. It's a hot take.
Hot take. Let's get the crime out of the political
Unpopular
office.
opinion.
Yeah. Norm Macdonald is awesome. Look, I will go over here before I go back over there.
Good for you.
I'm proud of you.
All right. So. All right. That was
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Gone.
Bud Light got us to
Bud Light
Norm
gone
Macdonald.
existed. All right. So that was Sean's.
Mm-hmm.
That was Sean's stuff. Cool. It took us a minute. Yes. Let's look at well, you want to talk about Hawaii being on fire?
I really want to look at the robot security
Okay,
guard.
let's look at
because I saw the pictures.
I don't know that I actually really.
Oh man. Okay, so
yes,
I looked at this a little bit. There's a shopping center in Ohio.
Yes.
Because Ohio needs something. That deployed a 400-pound robot security guard.
Yes.
Okay? He's our secret agent man, said Stacy Schmidt, Vice
love the
President
name.
of Marketing.
Not very
That's
stupid.
I don't even think that's the right robot, because that's talking about a robot barista. If you scroll that's it. That's it. That's Sam, the AI-powered robot.
Let's put this picture up here so everybody can see who we're talking
He
about.
is. This is Sam. He moves at a speed of 2 to 3 miles per hour. He has thermal imaging,
Well,
and he has a button that
How
shopper-
fast can a person run?
Well, I mean, Usain Bolt can run really fast.
Well,
like,
I
What's
mean,
the average person though?
average.
A 53-year-old,
human
195-pound
running
man.
The average human can run anywhere from 6 to 8 miles an hour.
Okay. So
So this guy's Sam's
you're
already off
tripling-
to a great
You're
start.
tripling the robot's speed right off the bat.
But he has a button that you can push to be connected with the mall security team.
Not if you're running away.
He is not intended to replace people in security positions. It was a bit off-putting, one shopper told us. I think I was just like, okay, what is this?
Our priority has always been to provide a safe and secure environment for everyone who visits our center, and the Nightscope robot will play a crucial role in enhancing our existing security measures. I feel like Nightscope needs like a number behind, like Nightscope 2000.
Yeah, like
Knight Rider, like Kit 2000.
yeah, call it Kit. All I want to say is that so far this is dashing my hopes of getting a RoboCop. I mean, this guy looks like just a walking like.
It looks like something from Doctor Who. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
like a Doctor Who
It
robot.
looks like an autistic
Like,
Dalek.
one of the things that I love is that if we're out and about on the weekend or we're at a baseball game,
We're out and about on the
and you
weekend.
get
I
the
don't know what
notification
plane
that the doorbell
I don't know.
rang,
Probably an ad.
you can tell someone to leave a package at the
Yeah.
door. You don't even have to indicate that you're not home. You can just say, you know,
close the
I'm
tab.
tied up right now and
Get
can't
rid
come to
of
the door. Feel free to leave it.
Fantastic. Done.
Random ad. I love it.
So that's the robot security guard who is definitely not doing anything for anyone anytime soon.
It's basically a rolling kiosk.
It's
Like I said,
basically
there's a button you can push. Call security.
yeah. He's basically just a camera.
It's a speakerphone.
He's a mobile camera and phone,
Yes.
and
Help desk.
yeah, yeah. He's just there for you to call for someone to actually help.
Yes. Not exactly, like you said, not exactly the AI we were looking for.
Not RoboCop.
It's not the AI you were looking for. It's the AI you need.
It's not even that. It is literally just a moving, like, security camera.
Which is, yeah. It's like the robo vacuum cleaner thing.
Yeah,
Not
the
really.
iRobot.
It's not really a robot. It's just a,
Well, I mean, it's a robot.
yeah, but not robot how we like to think of robots with arms and legs.
True. I think if they gave Sam some big arms, even if they didn't do anything, they just moved, it'd be a lot better. No, just like big, like stupid looking arms that just did this constantly.
We were at oh, you were with us in Vegas.
Yes. The what was it, Brazilian steakhouse?
Brazilian steakhouse. It was they had a robot server, which they didn't have him serving. They had it bringing people to their tables. So
he was adorable.
He was adorable, but he would come over and like stop at the table, and people are like not sure, like okay. And then they'd finally sit down, and then the robot would just sit there awkwardly, like they're like, how do I make him go away?
The robot, I believe it asked for a tip.
I don't think it asked for. It waited like a certain. I don't know. It seemed like forever, but I'm sure it was only like maybe 30 seconds or whatever. But,
I don't even think it was.
But I
that
think there was
long.
a thing on his screen you could have pushed to skip the wait for him to go, but everybody was just like, "Is he gonna leave?"
But also like
and he had like eyeballs where he's just looking.
Yeah, he had a little
or
face
circle
and,
lights. Not
and he had a he had a little face on the screen.
Yeah, it was like LED.
And he had like shelves on him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He can bring out drinks or food, I guess. But,
He was adorable little robot.
And he had like brake lights.
Yeah,
behind-
he had turn signals.
Turn signals that you knew where he's going.
That was
cute.
hilarious.
Very cute. Right. So that's that. And we could talk about Hawaii on fire, but I don't think there's a whole lot there. I mean,
Hawaii is on fire.
It's Maui, not whole. Yeah, just one of the islands, not all of them. It's terrible, obviously. I mean,
93 dead.
93 dead now. Did they say how the fire started? Do they know?
Let me see if I can find that out. I do know it's the deadliest wildfire in more than a century.
Well, anywhere or just like in Maui?
U.S.
Really?
The deadliest United States wildfire in more than a century.
What about like 3 or 4 years ago when like all of California was on fire?
I guess they didn't have as many deaths.
Okay.
Let's see. Hawaii governor said that hundreds of people are still unaccounted for.
Okay.
In the short term, it will be heartbreaking. In the long term, people are going to need mental health care services. In very long term, we will rebuild.
All kinds of terms.
2 of the victims have been identified so far.
91 to go.
4,500 displaced people need shelter. The damage is estimated to be about $6 billion so far.
That's a lot.
They are still working on extinguishing the flames.
It's still not out. I feel like
as of Friday night, the fire had been 85% contained.
Well, it's on an island. It's 100% contained. I feel like there's an infrastructure problem there. If you're surrounded by water, and you can't put a fire out.
Estimated to have burned over 2,000 acres, 2,200 structures, and about 86% of those buildings were residential.
Yeah, that was usually you see wildfires because I saw some pictures and videos. Usually, when you see videos of wildfires, it's in the woods. It's forest on fire. Like that was like a city. Like the city was on fire. It was pretty wild. That's not what you're used to seeing.
MAUI.
Let's see if we can find some. This is all aftermath. Looking for fire.
About 1,000 people are missing. Maui County Police Chief John Pelletier estimated on Thursday about 1,000 people are missing, though he cautioned that honestly, we don't know.
Well, yeah, it's a highly fluid situation. It's hard to.
And the previous wildfire, 85 people were killed in a 2018 campfire in Northern California. There was a fire that raged through northern Minnesota in 1918 that killed hundreds.
Well, then how is this the deadliest?
There's still 1,000 people missing.
Well,
We only have
this
like,
fire has the potential to have
They
killed
could've
1,000
swam away.
people.
That's another thing. Wouldn't you just jump in the water?
I don't think this part of Maui was anywhere near the water.
Pretty sure it was.
Oh, there's literally water in the picture here. But like this spread across multiple things. Let's see.
Well, here's a picture, an aerial view of the fires. They were mostly along. This one wasn't.
Yeah, there was like 3
This one
separate
wasn't,
fires.
but these over here were along the coast, these are the cities. I'm sure. I don't know
Yeah.
what that is.
I think that's where the fire is now.
It says active fire, but I don't know when this picture was. But yeah, but I heard stories of people jumping in the water, like, which makes sense.
It's still 1,000 people missing.
Maybe they're all swimming.
Unaccounted for. You would think they would stop by now.
So Hawaii is currently burning.
Well,
A lot of
yeah,
things.
it's not really burning anymore.
Yeah,
Hawaii was burning.
and they don't know what started it.
I could not see anything about that. Said there was like 3 fires that started, and then one of them just took over.
Well, there's conspiracy on that too. So,
Of course there is.
lasers or something.
Oh yeah, we're shooting Hawaii with lasers from our Starlink satellites.
Yeah, that was the started the Canada fires too. They're saying
Canada was attacking us.
smoke. They're trying to smoke. They're attacking us like we do a wasp nest. Smoke it out.
Go to New York and get the Breaking Bad Mexico filter on you.
USA Today. How did the Maui fire start? What we know about humans making disasters worse.
Technically, if we weren't here, the disasters really wouldn't be that bad because there'd be no casualties.
Right. And like wildfires have, they've always been a thing since before people.
Yeah.
It's, you have a storm, lightning hits, stuff goes on fire. It's only bad because there's people here.
Yeah.
If there weren't people here, it's just a wildfire. Big Island killed at least 55 people. Let's see if there's
55, they're behind.
Yeah, an old story. This was updated ago. La, 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 la. How did the fire start? Have not been determined. However, National Weather Service issued warnings for the Hawaiian Islands for high winds and dry weather conditions, ripe for wildfires. So possibly a campfire
Possibly.
when they shouldn't have been.
Of course.
85% of wildfires are caused by humans.
I feel like the ones started by humans are never that bad.
Well, I think a lot of them are. Like, if people have fires, if they're camping or in their backyard and they have fires when there's fire restriction. That's not usually good. Anyway, so Maui's on fire. That's not a good thing. Well, it's pretty much out now. But a lot of people died. That's not a good thing.
We don't even know how many people died for sure yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully they find those people and they are injured and not dead.
Hot take. Not good.
Hot take?
Terrible.
Hopefully they can just be casualties instead of fatalities.
There you go. Speaking of hot.
Oh no.
Yeah, what is this? This has been on here for like 3 weeks now. What is this?
This is so a man dressed as Darth Vader ran a mile in Death Valley's lethal heat. His advice to others: don't.
Wasn't going to.
I don't know why there's a picture of guns.
I'm getting a video of guns. It's an Air Force recruitment video.
So a man dressed as Darth Vader ran a mile in full speed in California's Death Valley on Sunday, undertaking an eccentric annual tradition in some of the hottest temperatures on the planet right now.
He has done this for the last 13 years.
Why?
Because he calls it the Darth Valley Challenge.
New Mexico-based John Rice, 52, hey, I'm 52, has done this for the last 13 years, sprinting a mile in what he calls the Death Valley Challenge.
Temperature soared to 128.
50 feet.
I couldn't sprint. Temperatures soared to 128 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, this is around the time we were in
Yeah.
Vegas, and it was 115 plus.
This was not as hot as some of his previous runs.
Yeah.
But any heat is tough when you're trying to breathe through a plastic mask with some poorly drilled air holes.
So,
Walking after 10 a.m. Not recommended.
was it a good Vader mask or like a cheap dollar store version?
Let me look at it. Oh, he's wearing like a Walmart Halloween costume
that's
looking
awful.
thing.
I feel like it'd be better to have one of the good ones.
Oh yeah,
They're
for
more
sure.
breathable. Yeah.
That looks like the same one that we used to have.
Mm-hmm.
Except that one actually had the control panel was
Yeah.
part of the helmet.
Yeah.
And that's part of the shirt.
Look at his shoes. At least he's wearing Papa shoes.
Like he's wearing gloves. What do you need gloves on?
I think those are part of the costume.
He's got to complete the fit.
Well, he's got a watch. He's got his Fitbit on. At least he's getting
He's getting points.
and he's got his phone there. I was gonna say his iPod, but people don't use iPods anymore.
Still
Do
make
people
them.
use
I
iPods?
have-
They still make them.
No. I have trained for years in the sauna to acclimate to these temperatures. Although the run itself is supposed to be fun and whimsical, dropping dead in the desert isn't.
No, it's not.
I would not do this if I was not properly trained, had an escape plan, and knew how to recognize and counter heat stroke.
What's your escape plan? Take off the costume.
He might have someone like at the beginning or end of it who just
I should hope
are
he's
ready.
not by himself.
You would hope.
Yeah.
Some people collect porcelain kittens. I run through Death Valley dressed up as Darth Vader every year. Rice had taken on the annual hot run for several years before remembering that Star Wars was filmed there. Now he wears a balaclava, thermal underwear, and a compression shirt, all underneath the costume.
So the Vader was just an afterthought.
Yes, he's been doing the Death Valley run, and then he was like, wait, Star Wars is filmed here. I was coughing for hours afterwards.
Don't. The human body is not designed to do this.
I'm 52. I'm well aware of this. Like I said, I couldn't sprint 50 feet, let alone a mile.
I don't like to sprint.
All right, let's see. So that's
That's
another
hot
story.
Vader.
We're just clearing stories off our list, so we have to add new stories to the list. All right, next story.
I overdid my story.
Uh,
Who said we're only doing one?
What?
Let's see. What?
We've been doing this for an hour and a half.
Got somewhere to be?
Not here.
Wow. 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 I wanna look at this the
Do one more.
predictions.
All right. This is
This is a fun story.
yeah. Did you look at this one?
We watched it
We-
like a month ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is predictions of technology.
Back in 1993.
Yeah, from way back in the day. Is this it?
Yeah, it's a
I didn't
Facebook
It's
reel.
loading.
How do I pause this? Can I pause this?
I think you just did.
I think I just did. All right.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
am I on the
always-
right?
yeah. Make sure you
All right,
get
so this was
You'll
it's
have
a
to
Facebook reel, I
unmute it up
guess.
top. I
unmute
think.
it at the top.
And this was 1993. Kind of predictions about technology and the internet.
Online network called Internet. What do President Clinton, conservative
Called internet.
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 Just not the internet. Not the
internet?
The
internet.
internet.
Not internet. The internet.
radio personality Rush Limbaugh and rock star Billy Idol have in common?
They all
Wait,
have.
I know this.
Yeah, what?
Do it.
They all have electronic mail addresses on computer systems.
I was trying to come up with something funny, but I couldn't think of it.
They've all committed some kind of crime.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
I
They've all
love
got
the way
electronic mail
all the
addresses
media
on
called
computer systems
electronic
linked to the
mail
internet.
addresses.
A global hookup.
There was a radio show I used to listen to years ago out of New York City. It was Ron and Fez, and they would do a segment called it was where they go read email, and this is back in the like 90s, so it was like email was very new.
Yeah.
And it was like late 90s though, but they would play like a clip before they go read their email, and it would be like, now we're going to read some email. The thing would be like, email mail sent electronically.
Up that permits computers to exchange information. In 1981, only 213 computers were hooked to the internet. As the new year begins, an estimated 2.5 million computers will be on the network, serving as many as 20 million people.
I just want everyone to know real
Almost
quick.
2001, and
As
the
of
technologies that
2018,
bring
22 billion computers. Sorry,
I wanna know-
devices.
I want to know how those 2 million were serving 20 million people.
Don't you remember having the family computer?
Yeah, but not 10 people per computer.
bring us telephones, TV, and computers are
Look at those computers. That's state of the art back in the 90s.
Yo, we used to have one of those.
I remember that.
My
thing.
first
I,
computer was one of those.
I doubt you have real memories of that.
merging.
You remember
5
it?
years from now, we're
I
not
used to
going to
play
have
Darby
distinct
the
cable and telephone industries.
All right. First prediction: 5 years from now, you're not going to have distinct cable and television or telephone industries. I beg to differ.
I'm gonna think we have a lot more.
Well, we still have cable.
Mhm.
It's still
The
distinct from
telephone
telephones.
has changed because now it's all this.
Yeah, and now it's if you have a landline, it is through your cable company usually.
Right. Yeah, I guess there's still landlines.
Yeah, but it's not a
For
separation
businesses.
from a cable company.
Right. Yeah.
It's the same company, and it's if you want a landline, they'll hook it up for you.
Yeah, yeah. Very few
So
people.
that is he was actually correct on that.
Yeah. Well, no, he said there
Look,
wouldn't be.
He was wrong, but he also had no way of knowing
Yeah.
that we would have,
Yeah.
this is the future of bag phones.
Yeah. We had no clue back then that the government would be able to track us through our phones.
I remember my high school teachers telling us that we wouldn't always have a calculator in our pocket.
Yeah. Why do I need to memorize this
I
equation?
was told that in like my freshman year of high school. too.
Yeah, which was even more crazy considering that was after I graduated, and there was definitely a calculator in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was you. We had to buy scientific calculator for one of your math classes, even though you had it on your phone was.
No,
possible
my
capable.
phone could not scientific
No.
calculate.
Well, they can now.
They can now,
Yeah.
but at that time they could.
There's going to be one industry, and there'll be companies carrying bits, little pieces of information from point A to point B.
Now we have ISPs.
Or kilobits. Or megabits.
I hate bits. You know what your download and upload speed is measured in bits instead of bytes? Because a bit looks bigger. Because to go from bit to byte, you have to divide by 8.
So bits are bigger than bytes? Or it just looks bigger?
Oh
I'm
god, I can
confused.
never remember. Okay, hold on. Bits
I thought bytes were bigger
to
than
bytes. So 1 bit is 1/8 of a byte.
So bytes are bigger.
Bytes are bigger.
8 times
Right.
bigger.
Bits are smaller, so the number looks bigger.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that's why
So if we do 1,000 KB, that's bits?
that's kilobits.
Okay, that's weird.
Actually, it depends if the B is capital or not.
Right.
If it's lowercase, it's bits.
If it's up, it's
So
byte.
if you have 1,000 KB and it's a lowercase b, you need to divide that by 8 to get your actual speed that you can make sense of.
Gotcha.
It's evil.
Promotional video put out 5 years ago by Apple Computer envisioned people talking to computer terminals and to one another through video phone links by the year 2010.
FaceTime.
FaceTime. I don't know if a lot of people were using that kind of stuff in 2010.
I don't know.
I mean, the iPhone came out in 2009. I'm pretty sure it was around 2009. So, I mean, I don't think FaceTime was a big thing yet.
Oh, no, I don't want the iPhone 15.
iPhone 1.
Let's see. It was first announced in 2007.
Pretty sure it was 2009.
The first iPhone. When were you released? 2007. June 2007.
Okay, 2007. So, I mean, there wasn't a lot of video
No.
chatting going on. And even now, I mean, people do it, but not. I would much rather.
However,
FaceTime's initial release date is in 2010.
There you go. So you nailed
About 3 years after the iPhone.
But I
Same
wouldn't
month,
say
too.
I wouldn't say wide usage.
No.
Especially back then. iPhones were not. Everybody didn't have an iPhone back then.
No. Also, it was only Wi-Fi for the first 2 years. It wasn't until 2012 that you could FaceTime using your data.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a big thing. Data was streaming data was not a big thing back then. Well, it was expensive. But even now, I don't think video call. I mean,
people still use FaceTime a lot.
They do, but they're always weird.
Yes, I agree with that. FaceTime is used by weird people.
But that's also, I don't like talking to people. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I would much rather text than even have a phone conversation, let alone actually look at somebody.
Yeah. I hate people who are like texting is so unprofessional. It's like, why? I'm giving you a message. I'm letting you know the information. Why do you care if you hear my voice or not?
Yeah. So he wasn't far off with that. But I mean, I don't think he made it sound like everybody would be. And I don't
Well, he
think-
said wide usage by 2010.
Yeah. No, yeah. So he was a little early on that.
A little early.
Hi, Mike. What's up?
It's
Also, I
already
want
coming
I want a
true.
desk computer like that.
Yeah. Also, yeah, we're not a video chatting on TV.
Wait, I think we can now.
Probably if you
I
have an
think
Apple TV.
I think there are certain smart TVs that you could probably do that.
Probably.
I wouldn't be surprised.
In Cerritos, California, video phone service is part of an experiment started by General Telephone and the local cable company.
General
There
Telephone
are also
still in
interactive
business?
TV channels where people order movies on demand instead of driving to the local video store.
Netflix. Yes, he predicted Netflix.
Okay, hold on.
High schoolers can get
And he also predicted the demise of Blockbuster.
Okay, so Netflix started streaming in 2007.
But they were also, they would mail you videos.
Yes, yeah, that's why I looked up when they started
Yeah.
streaming. Because they were doing the discs before that.
Right. But they, well, even after they started streaming, they still did the discs.
Yes,
Like,
I think
only
I
stopped
think
that, like,
they
last
still
year.
do. They still do the discs?
No, they
No, they stopped it
discontinued it
sometime.
a couple years ago. Like
Darn.
recently, though.
Is GameFly still in business? Yes.
Yes, it is.
What are they? Is that called
GameFly.
Steam?
No, GameFly is. Excuse me. They were the Netflix for video games.
I know. That's
Because
what I'm
you
saying,
would
Steam.
pay your subscription fee
And
or
you
whatever,
get you
and
get a
you'd
game
get a
disc.
game that you could keep for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a time limit.
I don't
on
think
it.
so either. There was you just don't get your next one until you
Yeah,
send
and
that one
and
in.
I know because we actually bought a few games from there. We bought Lego Star Wars through GameFly.
Did we?
Yes. I
remember
think what
that.
happened is they like send you a case or something.
Yeah, you've already got the disc. Here's the rest of it. Yeah,
Oh
that was
God,
weird.
I'm surprised. That's a dangerous business to keep out right now, like for any kind of disc-based system, because those would be so easy for people to copy.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, they're
Are
doing
they
like
really still in business?
yeah,
Yeah.
Is it?
they have Switch games.
But is it like a streaming thing now?
Let's see.
Oh, they also have movies now.
They have movies. You can buy
It's gotta be a
consoles from
streaming
them.
thing.
So if
Still
I
no,
go,
still no late fees canceling.
yeah, no late fees. So if I go to the Switch and I click on these, do you stream or do you send me a disc? Let's see. It's really hard to tell. Keep going and I will look into this.
All right.
Practice questions for the Scholastic Aptitude Test.
Because that's what we're using the internet for high schoolers to practice questions for the AP test.
These new services add about $10. Tonight, the information
$10?
super.
Add about $10 to what?
Yeah,
'Cause
they
I can
add
guarantee
$10.
you- I can guarantee you it costs more than $10.
Oh my God! Yeah, they still ship games. Okay, so
How much is their subscription?
let's see. One rental at a time, $7 a month. Sorry, about $11 a month. Oh, these are standard, or that's the elite.
Ooh.
That gives
The
you
budget's out
unlimited
now.
game and movie rentals. You don't have. Yeah, this is so confusing. If you want a standard one rental at a time, it is $20 a month.
What's the $11.50?
You get a discount for the first 3 months.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at so it's $17.95 after that. Somehow it costs more. Oh, budget one rental at a time is 11. You get nothing. You just get your game and your rentals. You don't get any of their other special things.
What other special things are there?
They have something called Game Lock. I don't know what that is. Can I click on the plan features? Nope. You get so the first 30 days something comes out. It's
Right.
locked for only their elite, I guess. You can get 4K Ultra HD rentals, I guess, for
Ooh.
movies. You get reward coupons and early sale access. Their elite 2 rentals at a time plan is about $33 a month.
I still can't believe
So
they
it's
ship the
snail
stuff
mail
still.
Steam
Yes.
with a little Netflix thrown in.
It's games as a service, which is awful, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I really. Oh, you can get movies only. Blu-ray and DVD.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
They're behind.
Woo.
That's funny though.
I'm surprised that they even still support consoles and stuff that use discs, because those are so easy for people to pirate.
Yeah, that's I don't know.
Like
It's-
the Switch.
How do you make? Yeah, how are they making money?
I don't.
I mean, they can't possibly have a lot of subscribers.
I mean, I think they're just making money off of people's goodwill. Like,
I think they're just laundering money.
well, they also, they sell consoles and controllers. Let's see what their controller prices are. Maybe they have cheap controllers. Oh, yes, they have everyone's favorite third-party aftermarket controllers. Oh God. Yeah. Okay.
That's funny.
They have basically become GameStop, but with no physical store,
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
and you can rent
Right.
for probably about the same price as buying things used
Yeah.
overall. And you can get Switch games. Those you can't really copy because those are little cartridges.
Yeah.
I am just shocked
Interesting.
that they still say
Who knew? GameFly still alive.
How?
Blockbuster not.
I think is there still that one Blockbuster? Can I buy an arcade machine from that? Yes.
Well, we can go to Best Buy and buy an arcade machine, and it's a full one, not just a tabletop.
Oh yeah, they could buy Street Fighter 2 for $50. That's sad.
It's
Okay, they do not do PC games.
well, no. Why? Yeah.
Oh, they have PSP. They have
What?
original Xbox,
PS2.
Game Boy
Game Boy?
Advance, the Nintendo
PS
DS.
Vita?
Yeah, that's the PSP 2.
Living the Vita Loca?
Yeah, Vita means life. The Wii. Man, okay, so if you want a game for a platform that no one cares about anymore,
Well, yeah,
you go to
they've still got
GameFly.
these old games. They got to use
They've
them.
got all these discs. What are we going to do with them?
The GameCube. Is that still a thing?
I have one, but I really like the games on it, so I'm a weird case.
What's GBA?
Game Boy
Advance.
Advance.
Oh.
Not the DS with the touchscreen.
Yeah.
The Game Boy Advance.
That's the one that the guy at work tried to sell me.
No, that was a regular Game
Oh.
Boy. That was somehow older than this.
So, the revenue in 2022. For
How are they
GameFly
making
peaked
$17
to
million?
$17 million.
Money laundering. 17 million?
That was their peak revenue in 2022.
GameFly
That's a lot
has
of revenue.
70 employees.
They have
What? They could pay their employees $500,000 each.
revenue per employee is about $250,000.
Wow.
So you know what? If you
They
have
are
a company,
you know what?
if you have a company
Kudos
like this,
to GameFly.
you have no brick and mortar. You just sell as many pre-owned old things as you can and keep only 70 people on your payroll.
Oh my gosh, it's a cash cow.
Yeah, you know what? Good on them. They stick to their guns. They didn't change their business model a
No.
whole lot. They're still sending you
They're
discs.
like Redbox at Walmart.
Yeah. But still, I think it is incredibly stupid to send people discs.
I can't.
But if it's working,
If they're paying you,
if it's
if
working,
they copy it, who cares if they're paying you?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Who is using them for Xbox Original?
Who's using for PSP movies?
Obviously, someone they have 3 games for Xbox Original.
Wow.
How many Game Boy Advance games do they have? Oh,
None.
none. Okay.
I feel like they should have them all because if you order something they don't have, they can just run out and buy it.
You know, no, they can't. Where are you going to buy a Game Boy Advance game? The only
On,
place you could is GameStop.
No, on
eBay.
eBay.
That's true.
You can find it on
But
eBay.
because you can buy games from them, and they probably, they have 70 employees, they probably just have one warehouse somewhere full of these games.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I'm sure it's just, they will just run out of games sometimes.
Yeah.
Check back in a year, maybe they'll have another Game Boy game. Props to GameFly. You know what?
Yeah,
Power
hey,
to
they're
them.
making money. They're making a lot of money per employee. I mean,
I hope their employees are getting paid well.
I bet you they are all very. I bet they've worked there forever.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They're making boku bucks.
That when those 70 people all retire at the same time. Oh, man.
Now I want to work for GameFly.
They won't hire you. They can't afford a 71st employee.
Listen, they're making $17 million.
Yeah, and they want to keep their $240,000 each. I'm sure they don't have that many operating costs. They keep up the
Where are they
website,
ba-
they
I
keep
wonder
the
where,
lights
Where
on.
are they based out of? GameFly, where are they based out of? Anybody looking for a job? I feel like
GameFly is headquartered in California.
Angeles.
Well, of course they are. So they're not making all that money. They're paying most of that in
And
Texas.
and the games from them are shipped from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So they have a warehouse. So half of their employees are in Pennsylvania.
Oh, they have 2 shipping centers, Pennsylvania and Los Angeles.
Okay, so yeah, so they have 2 warehouses. They've got 35 people in one warehouse and 35 people in the other warehouse.
Now they did have a streaming service, but they shut that down in 2018.
They didn't want to compete with Netflix. And streaming video games is
Steam.
Let's look
Not
at let's
well,
look at how the Google Stadia went
Not
to see
streaming
how.
games, but like a Steam service where you could download it. I mean, that's
Well, yeah, but that's you're buying your copy of the game.
yeah. But I could see that working.
But if they were streaming games, again, look at the Google Stadia on how well that works.
If you have a similar to Steam setup with a rental option, that's doable too.
That would also be real. It's really
because
dangerous.
the way Steam puts games on your computer, it could also take them away. Like if your subscription, like if you don't pay your subscription,
it cannot get rid of the files
But you
without
can't-
it could lock
So-
access.
It can lock access,
can.
but if someone is going to try to pirate a game, they will have ways
Well,
to
there's
get
always
around
a
it.
way. I mean, that's
That is why
you can't
it's
build a business based on what if someone does
true.
this.
That is true, but building a rental service for computer gaming is just really it's just a dangerous thing to do, more so than anything else.
I don't know about dangerous, but
Well, I mean, like, because, like I said, was talking about, you could take, a PlayStation disc and copy things from
Yeah.
it. It's hard. It's really hard because they're encrypted in like 87 different ways.
Yeah.
Like they're not CDs, they're Blu-rays or some other third thing.
right.
But for a computer, like it puts all the files there. So if it's not a streaming service,
Yeah, but there's plenty of ways to lock that down. Like Spotify. If you download a song on Spotify, you can't play it anywhere else but Spotify.
yeah,
The
it
files
doesn't.
on your
It
on your
doesn't
phone
download
or
as an
computer,
MP3.
but it's locked down. Same thing
Steam-
with
a
Netflix.
lot of
Same
Steam
thing with
games do that.
Netflix. You
Yeah,
can
you can
download a
download
video on
things
Netflix, but you can't watch the video without Netflix.
A lot of Steam games, what they do is just it requires you to be logged in.
Right.
So like even if you log out of Steam and you go to the
It needs the
executable,
key, and the key is provided through the Steam app.
well, what they'll do is that if you try to launch the game, it will just launch Steam,
Right.
and it will make sure that you have the game, that the key is attributed to your account,
Right.
the license.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it would be
But
that.
there are some games that, like, you can just go to the file and play it,
Right.
and it doesn't even require Steam.
Right.
Once it's on your computer,
But I'm saying it's
there.
possible. I know there are some games you do that, but there are a lot of games that don't do that. Like you said, it opens Steam up.
Yeah.
And accesses the key. So I mean, it would be possible. I mean, not foolproof, obviously. Nothing's foolproof. But I mean, it would be possible to do like a rental type service with video games on a PC, where it would be able to lock it down if you don't pay.
I just think
Or
out of
even if it's if you just locked it down or removed the key or something like that, I don't think that's outlandish to think that that's possible.
I think in terms of just demographic, people who are playing games on their computer, they don't want to rent it.
True.
I mean, that's my experience. If I'm gonna rent a game on a console, I'll do that. But renting a game on my computer, like, I don't know, I want to own it. Even though technically I don't own any of my games on Steam. I have a copy of their license, which can be revoked at any time.
Right.
Which is the dangers of anything that you buy digitally.
The
To
GameFly is hiring, by the way.
They're hiring?
LinkedIn, Monster, Craigslist, and JobTrack.
But yeah, that's a big thing. That's a question that like what happens if Steam, God forbid, Valve being
Well, like you said,
a monopoly.
Some of the games, like you said, that are independent of Steam, you'd be fine. But yeah, the ones where you get the key through Steam, you're gonna have an issue.
Yeah, like what happens if just all of a sudden Valve runs out of money, Steam servers offline, all of a sudden, the 300 games that I have attributed to my account, I can't access.
Yeah,
That is
scary.
It's scary, but also Valve has a lot of money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no threat of Valve.
And I think they're based out of They're based out of St. Louis or something.
Seattle.
They're based out of Seattle. They're not paying a whole lot of taxes. They're not a California company.
No, they're not.
Like, they know what they're doing. They don't even make that much. They just work on Steam. Like, they have their
They don't even
games.
make the games.
They make their VR headset. They made one game for
Right.
it. They made their
They're making a
Steam
second
Deck.
one.
Yeah, of course they are. They made their Steam Deck, which is a fantastic piece of hardware.
Yeah.
Just a
Yeah,
little
so
computer in the palm of your hands. Love
Last
that
year,
thing.
Valve generated around 13 billion in total revenue.
GameFly only made 17 million last year.
That's at its peak.
They only have 70 employees. Valve probably has a few more.
You kidding? Valve probably has 3 employees. Yeah, how many employees does Valve have?
I'm looking at that now.
Oh, they have
360.
360. They have 1 employee in the office each day of the year.
But at how much money they make? Billion?
13 billion.
13 billion?
That was the total revenue.
That's
for
still
last year.
more per employee than in GameFly. So,
All right.
And I don't think
But yeah,
Valve is hiring at all. So.
Well, they're not hiring the type of job that I could do.
No.
I'm not good at developing hardware.
I can answer the phone.
I can answer. Yeah, I'll be a secretary. I'll be Gabe Newell's secretary. Gabe, reach out. I'll move
He
to
actually
Seattle.
does still answer emails too.
Of course he does. Yeah, Valve has almost shifted to
Just a store.
no. They've been making hardware. They've been making, what's the word?
Hardware.
I think you said hardware.
No.